Well, in the United States, the Biden administration says it will support the new Syrian government if it renounces terrorism, destroys chemical weapons and protects women and minorities. Many Syrians who left the country to escape the civil war that began more than a decade ago have begun to return to their homeland.
Heading back home to Syria. These people walked towards the Syrian border with Turkey, where they'd taken refuge during the regime of toppled President Bashar al-Assad. For many, it was a moment they'd long dreamt of, and emotions ran high. I'm crying because I'm leaving here. I love it here in Turkey, but I have no one but my daughter. She was born here and grew up here. Similar scenes unfolded at Syria's border with Lebanon, which has hosted an estimated 1.5 million Syrian refugees since the civil war started in 2011. The Syrian rebels now in power in Damascus have announced Mohamed al-Bashir, seen here on the right, as the country's interim prime minister. In an interview with Saudi Arabian television, Bashir confirmed the new arrangement. The General Command has tasked us with running the transitional government until March 1st, 2025. On the streets of Syria, many were jubilant about the events of the past few days. We're no longer scared of getting bombed or scared for our families. Thank God we live in peace. We feel safe. We can say what we want. Before, we couldn't say anything. Some, however, acknowledged the uncertainty that remains about what lies ahead for the country. Because a new government is taking its place, and we don't know which ideologies or programs they're entering with. For now, though, celebrations continued into Tuesday night in Damascus, as people express their joy and relief that the Assad era is over.
Well, let's take you live now to Damascus, the Syrian capital, and join journalist Stella Menna. Welcome, Stella. How's it been there today?
So now it is relatively calm as the curfew has started and people have to stay home. But today, during the day, I witnessed an extraordinary momentum and an extraordinary mood within the city. People were clearly expressing their happiness and their relief that the Assad regime's time has ended. Many people to whom I talked were saying that they have never felt so free, that they have the feeling they can go wherever they want now and say wherever they want, whatever they want now, and that they really hope that this is continuing and that Syria will go into a better and brighter future. I've also witnessed a lot of people celebrating on the streets, waving the new Syrian flag, as well as singing and chanting freedom, freedom. Many people were taking selfies. There are a lot of old military tanks or military vehicles left on the streets, and people have started to climb on these vehicles and are taking selfies.
And let's talk about the transitional government. It got a prime minister today. What else have we learned about it?
Yes, Mohamed al-Bashir is the new interim's prime minister. He is meant to stay in this position until March. He has addressed and spoken to TV today, and he said that now is the time for Syria for stability and calmness. He also said in this interview that today he met with members of the interim government, but also of the old government and the administration in Idlib, and that together with all these people, he discussed the upcoming 2 months.
Okay. You entered Syria from Lebanon. What did you see at the border?
So from the way from Lebanon to Syria, there are many Syrians waiting in line to cross back to their old home, and they are very excited, and there's a lot of happiness. Also, crossing into Syria was so easy. If we remember a couple of days ago, just for years, it was not possible as Western journalists to enter Syria in the regime area, and there were just only 1 or 2 checkpoints left, and the fighters there controlling these checkpoints were welcoming us. But on the other way from Syria to Lebanon, things looked a bit differently, because there are also people who fled Syria in the last couple of days, and they are trying to come into Lebanon, but the Lebanese authorities are not allowing them to do so. So they are also standing in line, and it's many people, and they look rather desperate. So we have happiness and excitement on one side, and desperateness on the other side.
OK, thank you, Stella. DW correspondent Stella Mena in Damascus.